Piece of cake, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to be looking at our C sharp, E, G, and B flat fully diminished scale, 4 octaves, leading with, ascending with, I should say, a half step. So we have our diminished scale as we would normally play it. Yes, I do actually slide on the bass key. I know that's a funny thing now, but I do it. Once we get to our high C sharp, ladies and gentlemen, we go to palm D as we normally would. We go to palm E as we normally would. And then for F, I use an alternate fingering. I use G sharp with the high F sharp key. This gives us a really nice F. And then to go to Altissimo G, you just lift 2 and 3. That gives us 1. And the high F sharp key for Altissimo G. For Altissimo A flat, I got 1, 2, 3, and the side C key. For Altissimo B flat, I play 2, 3 with the palm D. I usually have the G sharp key down for that. You can use that to regulate the intonation, whether it's running sharp or flat. And then for Altissimo B, I just add the E flat key to that fingering. So for Altissimo B, I got 2, 3 G sharp, palm D, palm E flat. For Altissimo C sharp, just 1. Just like B natural, overblow it, and it plays an Altissimo C sharp. For Altissimo D, I add the side C to that fingering. For Altissimo E, just 4. For Altissimo F, I add this fork, 1 and 3. So Altissimo F is 1, 3, and 4. For double Altissimo G, 2 and 3. Double Altissimo A flat, just the 3 key by itself. Some of you may use this fingering for Altissimo A. It's one of the worst for Altissimo A. This is the fingering I use for double Altissimo A flat. For double Altissimo B flat, boom, just the C fingering, just 2 by itself. So high C overblows to double Altissimo B flat. For double Altissimo B, I add the E flat key to that fingering. So double Altissimo B is C, 2, plus what I call -1, which is the E flat key. And then for double Altissimo C sharp, the front key with the high F sharp key. Okay, so let's figure out how to actually use the diminished scale. I'm going to complete this and give you guys like a full functional understanding of how to use diminished scales, not just in the Altissimo register, obviously. So let's figure out what we're doing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so for this demonstration, I was using my regular Supertone Master 7 Auto-Link, very run-of-the-mill, the one you just get off the rack, Auto-Link mouthpiece. I'm using the Auto-Link Ligature. I'm using one of the Selmer teeth and mouthpiece protectors here. I always use these, always, on everything. And this reed is a Rigotti Gold number 2.5. I usually use Vandoren Red Box 2.5. 2.5 is kind of my wheelhouse for like jazz reeds. 2s for like stiffer reeds with lower tip opening mouthpieces. But again, it is really just not about the tip opening per se. It's more about the facing curve in terms of what kind of resistance, what kind of airflow you can have with being able to play all the Altissimo and all of that. And more than anything, relaxing your embouchure. Okay, so let's figure out what we're doing. Oh, I will post a link to all of this stuff if you guys are looking into any of this equipment. Let's figure out what we're doing with diminished scale. So as I talked about before, when you are using a diminished scale on a dominant 7 chord, there's 2 fully diminished scales that you can use. I always talk about these scales in reference to the ones that lead, the ones that ascend with a half step. So let's say we're in the key of F and we have a C7. So the alternate notes that we have are the flat 9, the sharp 9, the sharp 11, got a natural 5, 13, flat 7. So whenever you see a dominant 7 chord that has those combinations mixed in, you know you can use a diminished scale. A big clue when not to use it is if you actually see an altered fifth. If you see a flat 5 or a sharp 5, you don't want to use a diminished scale. So a flat 5 is not the same as a sharp 11. It's the same note, but you are telling your bass player to do something considerably different. You are telling your bass player to play a natural 5 if you write a sharp 11. If you write a flat 5, it's going to play a flat 5. Same thing with a sharp 5 versus a flat 13. If you see a flat 13, your bass player is going to be thinking natural 5. And if you remember what mode of the Dorian major 7 scale or jazz melodic minor actually has the flat 13 and flat 7. So this is the 5th mode. So if we're in the key of F, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E, F, we go to that C, and then we have our C, D, E natural, major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th with the G, then we have the flat 13, flat 7. You got to understand what modes these are coming from. All right, so the other scale that we can use is going to also have the major 3rd and the flat 7. If we are in the key of F and we have a C7, we can play the other diminished scale that has the major 3rd and the flat 7 in it. We can use the C sharp diminished scale, which is the one that I just did for you. So we have our C sharp, flat 9, D, natural 9, E, F, perfect 4th, then we have the G, which is the perfect 5th, then we have the flat 13 and the flat 7. So when you see these alterations of a dominant chord, you can know which scale to use. Okay? So I have my new book that I've just put out, ladies and gentlemen, called A Scalar Approach to All Things Diminished. We talk about all things diminished, not just fully diminished. I even threw in as a bonus Altissimo fingerings for the 3 fully diminished scales in that book. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I have my Altissimo books available for alto and tenor saxophone. This is available in the link below through Teespring. I also have some merchandise here, and I'm still trying to figure out what new saxophone I want to get. I'm thinking about making some moves here and there and changing things up a bit. I'm not on cruise ships anymore, so my sound persuasion is taking me in a different direction. So I'm looking forward to that. I moved my phone, so if I'm looking in the wrong direction, that's why. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be posting a lot more stuff more frequently. I just wanted to make sure I had all this diminished stuff out for you guys, so that way you can check it out. Also, I'm going to be posting more on my other channel, Sirvalorsax Plays. That's going to be me basically just playing and not so much of the pedagogical type of stuff. All right, that's all I got for you. See ya!
Bring the funk back.